We came here to party. Put this for 0. Destroy everything. 5 creatures. Absent Angel of Hope. The other Atali. Kozlak, we'll take that. Take Ulamog. Yeah, we'll take them all. Why not? Hi, it's Vex. And today, we want to take you on a journey from eggs to fatties. We want to turn these innocent-looking 0-1 Defender eggs, basically don't do very much, into these big fatties like Zakama, Blightsteel Colossus, and the new Atali Primal Conqueror. And let's see who our commander is. Of course, the one only Atla Palani. This is our Naya commander. 1 red, green, white. It's been out for a while. Came in one of those commander decks a long time ago. Reprinter Double Masters 2022. I finally get time to make this deck tech because I love this deck. 2 tap. Create a 0-1 green egg creature token with Defender. That's this egg right there. It's a human shaman, by the way. 2/3. Whenever egg you control dies, that includes this token or anything of egg type, including changelings. Reveal cards from top of your library until you reveal a creature card. Put that card onto the battlefield and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Well, you play an egg, you kind of kill it somehow by defending it with it or sacking it, or mass creature removal, whatever, however you kill it. As long as it goes to the graveyard, you can't exile it. It has to die. You flip the top card of your deck until you flip, maybe a Blightsteel Colossus, right? One of these big fatties here. That's awesome. It hatched. It's like hatching, right? Hatching to a big creature. Here we have a bunch of big creatures like Zakama or Atali. Usually Naya decks, big stompy decks are very straightforward, right? Make eggs, have big fatties. Our plan A is to make eggs, sack them, flip over these giant creatures. Our plan B is to play land drops constantly and cast these giant creatures on the fair. Of course, our plan A is to cheat them out. Plan B is actually cast it. Let's go right to the deck tech. But before we go to the deck tech, do not forget to have your tokens, especially these cute little egg tokens. Right here we have Shapeshifter, which is an egg because it's changeling. Dragon Egg, that's like an expensive token actually. The dragon that comes from a Dragon Egg. And all the other tokens that you could possibly have. Definitely have your tokens. All right, on to the deck tech. One last thing, sorry. I have the deck list in the description below if you want to check that out with all the other affiliate links to help support the channel. All right, now it's time to officially go to the deck tech. The first part of the deck are the big creatures you want to cheat out or cast on the fair. These are, castable on the fair like the original Atali, 6 mana. You play 6 mana and cast it. We're doing some color order, starting with green. Here, we have these big green fatties. Apex Altosaur. I love this card. And the funny story, side story, is I forgot I had this card. And I just bought another one after the spike. Silly me, right? Anyways, if you don't have it, buy it. It's an insanely good card. 7 green, 9 mana value. There's a reason why it's 9. When it ETBs, fights up to 1 target creature you don't control. So boom, has 10 toughness. It deals 10 damage, so it can basically kill anything. Then when it is dealt damage, it fights up to 1 target creature you don't control. So you fight, it gets dealt damage. You fight again, gets dealt damage. You fight again, gets dealt damage. Unfortunately, you can't fight 0 power creatures or get the enraged happening again. But you essentially can keep going until you suicide your Apex Altosaur or until you feel like stopping and try to keep it alive. We have the original Vorinclex, Voice of Hunger. The other Vorinclex is not as good. 8 mana, 6 green. Doubles your lands, halves their land. Basically, they untap every other turn. Terrestrodon, 8 mana value. So we're playing some high mana value cards. Right here, ETB, Beast Within's non-creature permanents until 3/3s. Old Gnawbone, castable at 7 mana. When things deal damage, make some treasure. Then you have Balefire Dragon, again, castable at 7 mana. There. Deals combat damage to a player, deals that much damage to each creature that player controls. So that is kind of like a one-sided board wipe as well. These are board wipey cards right here. These are the 2 Atalis. This one is whenever it attacks, exile top card of each player's library. Then you may cast any number of spells from one of those cards without paying the mana cost. Now this Atali, different. Brand new Atali. Let's read it. 5 red, 7 mana value. Trample. When it ETBs, each player exile cards from the top of their library until they exile a non-land card. This Atali doesn't guarantee non-land, so sometimes you hit lands. You may cast any number of spells from among the non-land cards exiled this way without paying their mana cost. Then If you have mana lying around, 9 and a green Phyrexian, you can transform this into the backside. Atali, Primal Sickness. No, it turned to Phyrexian. I'm very sad about this, actually. Trample, Indestructible. Whenever Atali, Primal Sickness deals combat damage to a player, they get that many poison counters. Yes, this is a Blightsteel classes. It is Trample, Indestructible. So it's a little smaller than Blightsteel classes. I think Blightsteel is 12-12. Okay, I messed up twice. I had to check. Blightsteel classes is a 11-11. I always thought it was 12-12 for some reason, even though I play this card all the time. 11-11. They're essentially the same card right here. And I also messed up twice. I forgot the poison counter, of course. That's why I say always have your tokens. Let's add that to the token pack here. Put this back on its sleeve and move on to the next set of colors. The next set of cards are the white cards and the multicolored gold cards. We have some big dinosaurs. Usually the dinosaurs are the fatties, right? Dino, right there. Zapolta, Primal Dawn, 8 mana value, Flying Double Strike, Vigilance, Trample, Indestructible. I love the Indestructible clause. Absent Angel of Hope, also Indestructible, and gives everything else Indestructible. Fine Vigilance. Kind of almost the same keywords as Zapolta, except for this one grants everything Indestructible. Elish Norn, Grand Cenobite. The original OG Elish Norn, 5 white. All your creatures get +2/+2. All their creatures gets -2/-2. This might make eggs harder to kill because it has more toughness, so who knows. It's anti-synergy, but it's not anti-synergy. It's still a very good card. Don't leave home without it. You got Zakama, as I mentioned earlier, Primal Calamity. 6 red, green, white, trample. Sorry, I'm reading this backwards, aren't I? It's Trample, Vigilance, Reach. When it enters the battlefield, if you cast it, only if you cast it, untap all lands you control, so you get your mana refund, so it's not that bad. Gisela, kind of like Vorinclex, doubles your damage, halves their damage, flying first strike. A lot of these fatties are flying. I think these ones right here are flying. A bunch of them are vigilance. I think these 4 or 5 are vigilant. Then you have Aurelia, the War Leader, which is just recently reprinted in March of the Machine. I have a serialized one I'm lucky enough to open up here. But I also have this cool foil one, so I like to use. So let's use that one. 6 mana value, very castable. It's got haste, flying vigilance, then doubles your combat steps. So you attack with it, then you get untap and attack with it again. All right, so those are the colored ones. Now we go on to the biggest, baddest fatties in the multiverse. Blightsteel classes, of course. I'm talking about the Eldrazi. Voidwinter, Kozilek, Ulamog, another Ulamog, It That Betrays, right there. You can put even more Eldrazi, but eventually your deck will be so top and heavy that you can never cast these spells. These are, I consider, the close to uncastable until the very late game. If you ever get to the late game, which commander games are now shortening up a lot, you're probably the winner because you can cast these big fatties and then just gain insane advantage. We have the 2 Ulamogs, cast triggers. So unfortunately, since Ulamog and a Kozilek are cast triggers, you don't get them with the Atla Palani deck flipping, but you do get the indestructible part, and this gets Annihilator 4, and then this gets the mill. And if you by chance can cast Ulamog, you get to exile 2 permanents. Not too bad. Then you have Kozilek, the Butcher of Truth, the OG Kozilek. Draw 4 cards when you cast only, just remember that. And then Annihilator 4. We're playing these things just for the Annihilators right there. And then It That Betrays, another Annihilator card, 12 mana value, very expensive. Then when an opponent sacrifices a non-token permanent, even fetch lands and creatures and whatever, put that card into the battlefield under your control. So you can get all the cool stuff there. Void Winnower. This is insane. 9 mana value. Opponents can't cast spells with even converted mana cost or even mana values. Your opponents can't block with creatures with even converted mana values. So 0 drops, 2 drops, 4 drops can't block at all. Blightsteel Colossus, we know what it is. 11-11. I know that now, even though I should have known it already. Trample, Infect, Indestructible. Next, we have some ways to, kill our own eggs. And conveniently, our eggs are 0/1s right there. I remember the power and toughness this time. Skull Clamp can kill our eggs. Ashnod's Altar can sack our eggs. God Bombardment, you sack it. Any creature deals 1, and then it deals 1 damage to any target. Even battles now, of course, with the new errata. The Golden Throne, a brand new card. From Warhammer, I love this card, 4 mana value. If you would lose the game, instead exile this card, and your life total becomes 1, so you get a do-over. Then you sack a creature, add 3 mana of any color combination. And then we have our natural order. This might seem very out of place in this deck, but it's good. 2 green, additional cost to cast it, sacrifice a green creature. Our eggs are green. Search your library for a green creature card, put it into the battlefield, then shuffle. All right, so this gives you a 2 for 1. If you have Atla Palani and an egg on the battlefield, you get your search for old Gnawbone or something, or Zakama or whatever you want. That's green. Remember, it's green. And then you get to flip something over. So those are our sack outlets. I forgot to mention with the sack outlets, there are other ways to destroy your own creatures. You could beast within your own thingy-mabob, or turn it into a beast and hatch it into a fatty, or you could do a board wipe here. So next section, we have other various cards. We have egg type cards here. We have these 3. Nesting Dragon, 3 red, landfall. Land enters the battlefield, make an egg, and then when the egg dies, you create a dragon. So that is our egg part here, and a dragon. So that is a type of an egg that will trigger Atla Palani. We have Mask with Nexus, turns everything into all creature types, including egg, and they can make these little shapeshifters, which you can sacrifice because they're also eggs. Mirror Entity, which is also an egg because it's a shapeshifter. Then this is the cool part, right? It's 2 and a white, 1/1. You pay X until end of turn. Creatures you control have base, power, and toughness XX and gain all creature types. Make everything eggs. So what you could do is pay 0, suicide everything, turn them all into eggs, trigger Atla Palani. Yes, you would kill Atla Palani, but you would also trigger it because it would see everything die at the same time. If somebody tries to react to your activation of this ability, you pay 0 again, activate it again. You can technically activate an infinite amount of times because it costs 0. Don't do that because you'll kill everything will resolve, put in the battlefield, then you kill everything again. So don't just activate it once. Rhythm of the Wild. So these cards here are untappers and haste makers. Let's talk about these. These are haste makers right here, and these are the untapper. Simut is the untapper haste maker, and 1,000-Year Elixir. This one untaps all permanents during each other player's turn, so you can keep making eggs all day long. 1,000-Year Elixir gives activated abilities haste, not the creature. You can't attack right away, but activated abilities haste. Then you get untap and make another egg. Samut gives everything haste. Then you untap and make another egg. Swiftfoot Boots gives things haste. You want to equip your fatties and attack right away. Swiftfoot Boots is there to go. Rhythm of the Wild, non-creature tokens you control have Riot. They enter the battlefield with a choice of +1/+1 or haste, and then you can't be countered. That's also, you cast a Blight Seal, no mana drain on that sucker. If you have Rhythm of the Wild on board, and with this, you can turn it to a 12/12. There you go. I figured it out. We have some utility cards. Just simple card draw right here with Return of the Wild Speaker, Risk Card Expertise. You're going big, so you're just drawing tons of cards with these right there, and then you have Graveyard Hate and get your graveyard stuff back just in case you need something back. And it's also a land. Having little creatures like Scavenging Ooze that could possibly flip over is a little liability, but I think the power of Scavenging Ooze is so great that I'm willing to include it. The graveyard, every deck's a graveyard deck. Let's just be real. Every deck's a graveyard deck. You need to exile cards from everybody's deck. They always do something with graveyard. So this is just a good creature in general. We have the removal suite here. We have the good old double exile here. Swords, Plowshares, Path, Exile. Don't play this on your eggs because they won't convert unless you want to land right here. Vandal Blast, it's like Cyclonic Rift but for artifacts. Very, very good. Decimate, destroy a target artifact, creature, enchantment, or land. You can always destroy your own egg if necessary. I just love Decimate because it's just a fun card. It's a 4/1, but yes, you have to have all 4 targets. But usually 3 of them are easy. Enchantment might be a little more difficult, but they happen a lot. Generous Gift, Beast Within, destroys anything, again, including the egg. Blasphemous Act, Vanquish the Horde, kind of does a board wipe there, more destroy action. Austere Command is actually really good in this deck because it's got this mode, destroy all creatures with mana value 3 or less, which could be your eggs. All artifacts are enchantments, and all creatures with converted mana value, or converted mana value, what I'm talking about. Mana value 4 or greater, which is your fatties, if necessary, if you have to. So, ways to turn your eggs into big creatures, but also, good removal as well. The ramp package is usually heavier than I like, but we are paying a high curve, so we need to get those lands. We're actually playing high land count and lots of ramp just to get those fatties, be able to play those on curve. So you have our 2-mana ramp here with Secure Tri-Valor, Farseek, Nature's Lure, Ramp for Growth, 3 visits. There, we have 3-mana ramp here, Cultivate, Kadamas Reach, or 4 or plus mana ramp, Awaken the Woods, Sky Shroud Claim. Some artifact ramp, Soul Ring, Thorn Dynamo, the Great Henge, that is artifacts, and Smothering Tithe, which makes artifacts. So all those ramp, hopefully we can cast those big fatties that we can't flip over or that get stranded in our hands. The lands are pretty straightforward. We have our rainbow lands, including Command Tower, Jetmir's Garden, our fetch lands, our shock lands, battle bond lands, pain lands, so we get make all our different colors we need. And then we have our green utility lands, Boseiju, Yavimaya. Then we have these lands you don't see very often, but they are good. Castle Gambreak lets you ramp up an extra mana right there to cast creature spells, and Mosswort Bridge lets you hide away a big creature, and then you could tap it if you have 10 power on the battlefield, and then cast your big fatty or whatever you have underneath it. Lastly, we have some utility lands. Ancient Tomb help us ramp, of course. High Market, another sack outlet for your little dudes. Classic Wolf Run to trample over, because sometimes things don't have trample, but a lot of things have flying, so it's good. Rose Passage, again, to get in there. Scavenger Grounds, Graveyard Hate. Always have Graveyard Hate. Then Decimated Stage Vesuvius to copy fun lands that you might not own. We do have plenty of basics. Green Biased, of course, right there to get it with our land ramp. Anyways, that is the deck. Pretty straightforward, right? Eggs, you make some eggs, you sack some eggs, you turn them into fatties, and you attack for the win. That's basically how Naya is built. And, I like it that way. Sometimes you want simple things. Do simple things and kill your opponents and simply win. Anyways, I'm going to shuffle this deck up real quick. Can't wait to do a little goldfishy, show you all the crazy moves that we can do with this deck. And we'll get right to it. But before we get right to it, don't forget the deck list is in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, give the video a thumbs up. Smash subscribe button, hit the notification bell to be alerted for new videos in the future. And that's right, I have the deck list below. Don't ever forget you have your tokens. And then we'll shuffle this deck up. And we'll be right back. All right, we are back again because I recorded the whole segment and it went bad because the mic messed up. So hopefully this time we're good. Let's start again. Oh, it was so epic. I'm sorry I couldn't show it to you. I mean, I guess I could, but the sound was so bad, so we got to move on. Let's see what we get. This is a pretty good hand here. We have Secure Tri-Valor, get some colors. Balgad Recovery. 1,000-Year Elixir, get some untappiness. Samut, get some more untappiness. Aurelia is really castable, but we definitely don't have those colors right now with our mana base. We have Ancient Tomb, get things out faster. High Market, sack outlet. So we have everything we need. We do have 3 lands. That's why I love Balgad Recovery, because it is a Moldo face card. Yes, you could use Boseiju, but Balgad Recovery is good. Maybe both of them is good. So this is how I did it last time. I just spread my hand across the bottom so you can only see it. I'm going to try this out. Tell me how you think. This is the hand so far. We draw a card. Cultivate. That is sweet, because it helps with Secure Tri-Valor shenanigans. So we'll play Balgad Recovery as Balgad Sanctuary. That's why I love Balgad Recovery, because of that. Go here. Turn 1. Turn 2. And here's a move I rarely get to do, is I never put these cards together very often, but you'll see it. Rich Cards Expertise. Good way to refill our hand. If we flip a big fatty and sack it with High Market. Ancient Tomb, turn 2 Cultivate, which never really happens because either I'm playing Mana Dorks, which will give us 3 mana turn 2, and I usually don't play Ancient Tomb. But this time, I'm rambling again. This time, turn 2 Cultivate, which is sweet, which will give us the colors we need. Thank God we drew that. This does have Boseiju, you see. Moldo face cards, I love it. All right, so let's get our plains here, and let's get our mountain. Once we find one of these elusive mountains, we'll find one eventually. There it is, a mountain. We'll put that mountain onto the battlefield. Plains in our hand. Shuffle this deck up. Then say go. That's sweet. Now we have more land drops. We could play our commander next turn, or we'll play Samut next turn, and then set up our commander for success the turn afterwards. So we'll pass the turn 3. This is in our hand now. We have these nice lands here. Oh, more lands. Sweet. Dual land, of course. Let's see what we want to do. Do we invest? How do we invest in success? I think ramping some more helps us invest, right? And then adding a 1,000-year elixir can help us invest in success too. We'll just tap everything, all 5 mana, to add 1,000 years elixir and a secure tribe elder. There. Let's see. And I think we need the extra white, so we'll just sack our secure tribe elder for a plains for the Aurelia white because we got red right here. We'll do that. Shuffle this up. This is sweet. Sweet, sweet, sweet. All right. So we'll just do that. Turn 4. Wow, we're doing really well for ourselves here at ramping. We'll draw a card. Swiftfoot Boots. That's neat. Let's see what we want to play. We have 6 mana here. 7, up to 7 available. So I think what we can do is put High Market here. Play that. This is going to be pretty cool. So we're just going to just tap all our mana to play our Atla Palani. We were going to play Samut, but I changed my mind. Because what we could do is 1,000-year elixir gives Atla Palani pseudo haste. It doesn't give the creature that pops out of the egg haste, but pseudo haste with activated ability. We could tap our Ancient Tomb here, tap Atla Palani right away because of 1,000-year elixir, make an egg, and now we have High Market. And you know what that means? Oh yeah. Usually, what I would recommend is save this till the end of your last opponent's turn before your turn. Then you would sack it to give him the least opportunities to kill your egg. Then you sack your egg. Then you would trigger Atla Palani. If somebody tries to kill Atla Palani, you could sack it at instant speed as well. All right, egg time. Let's see what the random gods will give us. Smothering Tithe, nothing. Oh, the random gods give us nothing here. Mirror Entity, okay. That is an egg itself, so you can also sack that too. We'll put that at the bottom here. Go turn 5. Sometimes, you don't pop up the best stuff, but Mirror Entity is an enabler to help you destroy your eggs or make them all changelings. It's a very interesting card. You can pay 0, kill everything, trigger Atla Palani. Atla Palani will trigger itself because it becomes an egg because it becomes a changeling. Or pay 1 and sack it, sack a non-egg per thing like Secure Tribe Elder. That'd be pretty neat too. So you can do a lot of cool stuff. All right, let's see what we got. Turn 6, a Temple Garden. Okay, so we have 7 mana. We have 8 mana. So before we play our land, let's see what we can do. I think what we can do is, you know what? We came here for the big plays, right? We just make an egg here. Right away. We could play Samut. Shock this in. Right there. Man, let's play Ancient Tomb for an egg. We'll do a little take backsies because obviously we don't need colored mana for an egg. We will play our 5 mana Samut. Here we only have 1 sack outlet, unfortunately. I guess Mirror Entity is our sack outlet if necessary, but we'll play our 5 mana Samut here. We will tap our High Market. We'll sacrifice our natural egg here, and we'll roll the dice again. Okay, boom. See what we get. Any big boys. Oh, the new Atali. Sweet. Okay, I wasn't prepared for this one. Let me bust out my other decks and see what we get. All right, I'm just going to pretend that we're playing against 3 Atraxa decks. This is my foil Atraxa deck. Go check out the Journey of Bling, of course. There, pretend we're playing against 3 Atraxa decks to make things simpler here. It says, let's actually read this card. This card is amazing. When Atali Primal Conqueror enters the battlefield, each player exiles cards from the top of their library until they exile a non-land card. You may cast any number of spells from among the non-land cards exiled this way without paying their mana cost. So, we'll exile our own thing. The Great Henge. Okay. Wow. Okay, we'll exile some more cards from our opponent, which is our 3 Atraxa players. Nothing. Give me 3 visits, okay. That's our first spell. Let's pretend. Cultivate. Okay. That's our next spell. Soul Ring. Okay, we get tons of mana, so we cast our big fatties, which is great. Okay, we sack the egg. Atali enters the battlefield. We cast all these 4 spells for free. Here, move this deck out of the way. We get a free Soul Ring, free 3 visits, free Cultivate, free Great Henge. 3 visits, we'll be getting a Triome, of course. Let's see where I wish you had more creatures. Oh, look at Blightsteel. Do we need anything untapped for 3 visits? No. We got Great Henge, so we have 3 mana. We get an untapped land. We have 3 mana to do something. Yeah, maybe we could. I'll play a Swiftfoot Boots. We'll get a Force from 3 visits untapped. Then we'll cultivate here. Ran out of basic lands because of this. We didn't mean to cultivate twice in one game, but you know what? Sometimes you cultivate twice. Why not? I'll grab a Forest, and actually let's grab a Plains instead of that Forest into our hands. It's always good to do Take Back Season Commander because you know it's a casual format. We'll shuffle it up. We'll cast. Oh, we have more mana. I forgot about the Soul Ring. We'll return these back to the Atraxa deck. We'll keep the Soul Ring. We have the Great Henge. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana. Almost a 6 mana. 6 mana there. Oh, if we didn't use the thing, we could have played Rishkar's Expertise. That's okay. We will play our Swiftfoot Boots here. This entered first, then this entered, so no +1/+1 counters. Swiftfoot Boots will equip it to here, Atla Palani. Here we'll attack. Samut has haste, remember? Get ready to everything haste. We'll attack with this big dino here. Then when we can tap Atla Palani for another egg here. So that was a very productive turn 6. And I would, end the goldfish here, but you know what? We came here to party. That's right. We're going to put this for 0. We're going to destroy all our goods, everything, 5 creatures, and we're going to flip 5 times. That's right, 5 flips. All these are dying. Here, our egg's dying, Atla Palani's dying. We'll flip 5 times. We came here to party, right? Absent Angel of Hope. We'll take that. The other Atali. We'll take that. Scavenging Ooze, we'll take that too. Reach, see here. Oh, Kozilek, we'll take that. You don't get the ETB because you didn't cast Kozilek, but that's fine. We'll take Kozilek. We'll take Ulamog. Yeah, we'll take them all. Why not? There we go. And they're all indestructible itself because Avacyn makes it all indestructible. We don't have enough mana to equip that, but we lived the dream. We passed the turn. Next turn, I don't even know. I don't even want to know what's going to happen next turn because we have tons of mana here. We have more mana than we know what to do with. We play our land here. We annihilate 8. Indestructible with Avacyn. Why not? We didn't even draw a card. Balefar Dragon. We'll play Rishkar's Expertise, draw 12, right? From our giant Kozilek. Actually, they come in with +1/+1 counter to draw 13. Oh, I forgot to Great Henge these things. Oh my god. We forgot. I was too excited. We drew 5. So let's draw 4 more cards, 5 cards. Yeah, we draw all these 5 cards. We'll just play Aurelia. We'll annihilate her twice. Life is good after you spike well with the Atla Palani. Our hand's super full. We didn't technically cast this yet. Yeah, that was a sweet gold fishing session. Maybe better than the one before. I do hope you enjoy this deck tech. I love Atla Palani. The swings are fun. Sometimes you get bad things like Scavenging Ooze. Sometimes you get great things like Avacyn or the 2 Eldrazi. And sometimes you run hot by just flipping this and casting more free spells. So it's all good. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, I have the deck list in the description below. Help yourself to that deck list. Tell me if I should change anything up. Tell me if you want to add different fatties. This deck is so customizable. I love it. And at the end of the day, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up, smash subscribe, hit the notification bell to be alert for videos in the future. And as always, have a wonderful day.